Speed 100, test passes, 5 seconds, start. At the time of introduction of this bill itself, I had submitted that there is no effort to interfere with the original spirit of the Right to Information Act. If there is any misunderstanding that the Right to Information Act is being weakened or its autonomy and independence is being impacted adversely, then it is completely baseless. This amendment is being made in section 27 only, under which the government will be authorized to frame rules. Earlier, this provision was not there in the Act. Section 12(4) relates to the autonomy of this Act, wherein no amendment is being made in this bill. One more apprehension has been expressed that the powers and rights of the information commissioners are being reduced. However, Section 12(3) relates with the power of the members of the Information Commission, about which no amendment is sought to be made in this bill. Section 13 deals with the tenure, salaries, and the perks of the Central Information Commissioners, and Section 17 deals with that of the State Information Commissioners. If it is alleged that the government has introduced this bill arbitrarily, I would like to inform that the Honorable Supreme Court had stated in its verdict that the government should try and streamline various bodies and the tribunals, and because of that, there has to be uniformity in the service conditions in various such bodies. In pursuant to that, the government has tried to streamline various tribunals, which include the Vigilance Commissioner and Disaster Management Authority. With this amendment, the government would be able to streamline and institutionalize the functioning of the Information Commissioner and remove some of the anomalies which I had referred to even at the time of introduction. I am sure all the honorable members will respect the spirit with which this bill is being brought in. Of course, if there are suggestions from honorable members, they will be taken with an open mind. Dr. Shashi Tharoor, initiating, said, "This amendment is a deliberate attempt to weaken the RTI framework because in the last 5 years, this government has hollowed out the effectiveness of the RTI by leaving so many positions of state and information commissioners and staff vacant. It was on the recommendation of the Parliamentary Standing Committee that the information commissioners and the CIC were made on a par with the election commissioners and the CEC respectively for tenure and emoluments. All this will now go through this amendment. The government can hire and fire the information commissioners as they like, pay them what they choose, and this will inevitably vitiate the independence of the information commissioners. By amending Section 16, the central government will also control through rules the terms and conditions of appointment of information commissioners in states. This is an assault on the basic structure of federalism. The RTI Act was only passed in 2005 after thorough examination by a parliamentary standing committee. Now they are seeking to amend it when they have not even constituted the parliamentary standing committees. So, there can be no scrutiny of the need for this amendment and its implications. According to the mandatory pre-legislative consultative board policy of the government enshrined in 2014, draft bills are to be publicized by the government and public comments must be invited. But this bill was brought to the Lok Sabha without any public debate on its content. The government's unseemly haste to rush pending legislation through even before a parliamentary standing committee has been constituted itself rings warning bell. This amendment bill violates the constitutional principles of freedom and federalism, undermines the independence of the information commissioners, and severely dilutes the provisions of the RTI Act 2005. So, this bill should be withdrawn and referred to a parliamentary standing committee. Another member of parliament from the opposition said that Honorable Minister had categorically stated while introducing this bill that there is no effort to interfere with the original spirit of this bill through this amendment. This amendment is being brought in to make a provision to authorize the government to frame rules because such a provision did not exist in the original act. Therefore, this amendment is a mere administrative amendment to institutionalize the Information Commission and to make it more effective. The rights under the RTI to obtain information are as it is in this bill, and there is no change whatsoever in these rights. Therefore, it is obvious that this amendment aims to make the administration system more effective. During the last 5 years, our government has made the RTI more effective and stronger. Today, India ranks third in the world in terms of trust of the people upon their government. As much as 73% people trust our government in the country. I would like to congratulate the government for this.